In our next section, we are going to talk about Power over Ethernet technology. Power over Ethernet describes any of several standards or systems which pass electric power along with data on twisted pair Ethernet cabling. This allows a single cable to provide both data connection and electric power to devices such as wireless access points, IP cameras, and VoIP phones. As you can see that in the figure, we have a POE switch. Please pay attention that our layer 2 or 3 switch should be supporting POE to use with the POE support. And also our end devices should be supporting the POE technology to have power from the ports of the Power over Ethernet switch. We have two benefits of POE. The first benefit of POE is removing the need for cabling, and secondly, POE removes the need for an extra adapter. We have a switch and we have a IP phone connected to the second port of our switch. If the switch is supporting a POE and if IP phone is supporting POE as well, you don't need an adapter and you don't need to use the cable of the adapter as well to provide electrical communication to IP phone. But if the switch would not be a POE switch, you should be using an external adapter and cable to provide power to the IP phone. We have two POE standards, and they are IEEE 802.3AF and 3AT. Let's start with the 3AF first. This standard provides interoperability between different vendors. In this standard, the devices are supplied with DC power up to 15.4 watt. The second standard is .3AT. This standard is an improved version of .3AF standard and can provide up to 25 watts of power to the devices, which can be increased up to 50 watts or more by non-standard applications. This standard also known as POE Plus 2. And here are the power classes of the POE. POE and POE Plus powered devices are given a class of 0 to 4 depending on the power they need. We have power class 0 up to power class 4, and we have different power ranges, as you can see that in the figure. And here is the description of each class. For example, class 0 is the default class and classification unimplemented. Class 1 is very low power class. Class 2 is low power. Class 3 is mid power. And class 4 is the high power class of the POE. Here is the configuring and the verifying of the POE. To configure a POE port in the switch interface mode, as you can see that in the figure, you need to type power inline auto, or you can type power inline never, which configures the switch port to automatically negotiate inline power levels or to turn off POE. If you want to turn off POE on the port, you can use the never command. On the other hand, you can use the auto command. POE feature is already enabled under interface modes for today's most of iOS versions, so you don't need to type the power inline auto command most of the times. But if you want to turn off POE for a specific port, you can use the power inline never command to turn the POE off. If you want to check the status for verification, you can use the show power inline command.